up, YouTube guys and gals? We're back out here with the trailer. We finally got a little bit nicer weather here in Michigan. It's not so cold today. We're going to take advantage of it. I know it's the day before Thanksgiving and all, but we're going to take advantage of the warmer weather today, and we're going to get back to the trailer. So we got one axle underneath there. Everything's mocked up on this side. We're going to be bolting the leaf springs down to this axle. We'll slide it under. We want to find a position of that clip right there on the other side before we tack it on and see where we're at. Alright, so we got the other axle under there now. Getting ready to mount the tires, set it down, see how it looks. Alright folks, here we are. We got the tires on there. Just a stick or peepers on it a little bit before we weld everything out. Nothing's welded all the way, it's just tacked up. That's the way the tires sat originally before I had cut anything off of there. We're looking at the angle of the tailgate. Got my helper grandpa out here. Take a look at this side here. Yeah, see, we got all the clearance we were after. Alright folks, here we are the next morning. Boy, it was a long night. Got two kids in the house that are sick. One of them, the fever got up to 103 at the house. By the time they got to the hospital, he was at 107. The other girl, my other daughter, a 4-year-old, she had a fever of 102 last night, so I was medicating her and trying to get that fever to come down last night. So it was a late night. But we'll get back to the trailer here, kind of see where we're at. It's a cold morning here in Michigan. I believe it's down to, it's about 35 degrees or so, which is supposed to warm up today. The sun's coming out. We'll see how it goes as it gets warmer throughout the day. We're working on a Mrs. truck here this morning. Nice old Chevy Suburban here. I guess the voltmeter's been flickering on it a little bit, and it did it to me coming home from my parents' house up north a couple weekends ago. So I figured I'd throw the voltmeter on it and see what it's doing, see if it's in. I know these old Chevys, they got the clusters like to go bad at them and stuff. This bad boy's got like 160,000 miles on it, I believe. And it's been well maintained. We'll take a quick look at it. 2000, it's clean. Truck came from Florida. The guy that owned it before us, I mean, he always took a few notes here and there. We're just checking the charging system because it supposedly was jumping, which, you know, it's looking fine right now. Maybe a little high, but it's okay right now. But we'll take a quick gander at this truck here. Yeah, see, there's no rust around there. This truck, an old man bought this truck brand new, and he traveled back and forth from Florida in it. A little bit of rust down here by the tailpipe. Where all you can't even hardly see it. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Just a little bit of rust right there by the tailpipe. There's a little spot on the other side in the fender well, but you know, she's clean. She's a keeper. So we're thinking we've probably got plenty of clearance in the trailer now, which is good. The only thing I don't like, and if I have a picture somewhere, I'll see if I can clip the picture in there. Originally, when I started working on this trailer, the front tire was off center in the wheel well. It was more towards the back. And the new springs that we got, they're about an inch longer than the old springs. It's got this slipper in the back of it. It's got this hook on it, and it kind of guides inside there on the so after we set it down and we looked at these tires, I mean, you see it's off center. It's in a video, you can see it. I'm not happy with where it's at. I don't really like it. I don't like where it's riding on the slipper. It's too far forward on the slipper. It's not really even in a flat spot of the slipper. It's actually starting to get into the arch of the spring. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut the front mounts off, because that's where the eye of the spring is at, where the bolt goes through. So I'm gonna cut that off of there, and I'm gonna move that bad boy forward. I don't know, probably about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter from the little measuring that I did yesterday. It looks to me like the rim and the axle, I'll just call it the axle because that's what sets the center, right? So looks to me like the axle's roughly about 2 inches too far back from the center of the wheel well. So I'm gonna cut it off, and I'm gonna move it anywhere from an inch to an inch and a half. I haven't quite totally made up my mind yet. I was thinking about probably meeting in the middle and maybe just going an inch and a quarter forward on it, and then it'll bring it forward a little bit. And I mean, it'll change the tongue weight, but it's not gonna change it a lot, right? It might shift, if anything, 500 pounds of tongue weight, which, so I got it all jacked back up and on a stand. I just haven't taken the tires back off of it yet. You know, this should be in a video from yesterday, but if we kind of look at this thing a little bit here, you can see that front tire, I mean, the center should be over there. You know, my hand's going on an angle because this is weird, but that should be the center right about there, roughly. Just sitting back here eyeballing it. But from, you know, we dropped a plumb bob off the center and stuff yesterday, and it's about 2 inches too far back. So yeah, I mean, you could see it. So not, like I said, nothing I did. I just measured where all the original brackets were. I cut the original brackets off, and then I put these new brackets with my spacer right back in the same spot. So we're gonna move that today. But first, since it's a little bit chilly outside, we want it to warm up a little bit. I want to make some gussets to go off of those clips that I made. Get those ready, because once I move that perch forward, take a few measurements, make sure that everything still stayed square and didn't go much. It shouldn't go much. My plan is to, I got that furniture dolly over there. My plan is just to kind of jack the axle up a little bit, to have a little load on it. I'll set it on that furniture dolly, cut those perches off of there, and then roll the whole dolly forward a little bit so the spring can't move too much. I mean, it'll shift a little bit, right? So we'll just make sure it's still square before we weld everything out. But after I move it forward, I shouldn't have to put the tires back on it, drop it back down on the ground and look at it, because I already seen it. Nothing's going to change. As long as it's still square, just run with it. Kind of how I roll anyhow. We just run with it, just get it. But anyhow, so we're going to start off by, there's a couple pieces of square tubing. Those there, they ran across from perch to perch to help with side loading when you're going around corners and stuff. So we're gonna get those prepped and ready to go, and then I'm gonna make those little gussets that I said while it's still warming up outside. Make sure I'm watching the Suburban in the meantime to see once the alternator gets hot if it's doing anything. And we'll check back in a little bit.
Turn on Fox and get caught up on the World Cup.
Make sure you do your safety splits.
What a finish!
Drop the breaker. This garage kind of sucks. If there's any tool manufacturers out there that want to give me a small little sponsorship, you know, 10, 20, 30% off some tools, I need grinders. I need a plasma cutter. You know, I need all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna make it do with just what I got. It works, trust me. But different grinders I use every single day at work. I could get the contractor to go through you guys if he gave us some good discounts, man. We could buy, the contractor I work for is a multi-million-dollar contractor. They go out and buy 100 grinders all at once. They do it at least twice a year. I don't know how you guys work, but I like to clean up just a little bit as I go. All that graphite dust, I hate walking through it. It gets on your shoes, tracks it everywhere. Alright folks, these were the gussets that I was talking about. Them are all cut up, they're grinded, they're cleaned. They're ready to get tacked on there. I'll probably have to, this corner here, I'll probably have to nip that off a little bit after I weld the braces up on the truck. By truck, I meant trailer. Like I said, long night. So, I got those cut. I'll have to, like I said, probably nip the corners a little bit after I get all that welded. I could put them on there first and then, you know, just weld all with them there, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather have that weld there, nip this corner a little bit, put it up there, and then weld it to the weld that's there. Haven't made outside to work on a trailer yet. Getting there, just got these cut. I got to cut the tubing that goes across for sideways support, and we'll check back in. We're back out here in the garage, gonna finish the welding up on the trailer. I got all the gussets welded in there. I got the crossbars all welded in there. It's been a crazy holiday weekend for us. All the kids got sick. They were pretty sick. I spent 2 days fighting a fever off and on with my 4-year-old, which was tough. It was a battle. And then my 5-month-old, we fought a fever with him on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, the day I was out here all morning, afternoon, into the early evening part of the day. He ended up not breathing all that well, so we took him in, and he was strapped up to oxygen all weekend, the entire weekend. Up until today, which is Sunday. I was able to get them this afternoon today, bring them back home. They're all in the house and sleeping though. Much needed sleep for all of them. My 2-year-old daughter was the healthiest one out of all of them, even though she was sick. They ended up getting me sick in the process, so I'm a little under the weather today. But we're out here. We're gonna finish up the welding today, possibly slide an axle under there. We'll see. It's like 3:30 or something like that. It gets dark around 5:30, so we only got a couple hours of being able to work out there with the sun still up and enough light shining in on us. Ended up, I came out here on Saturday for just a couple hours. I brought the 2-year-old since she was feeling pretty good and I wasn't really that sick. I bundled her up and brought her out here. It was kind of a nice day. It was up in the 50s that day. So I brought her out here for a couple hours so I could do a little bit of welding while she played with the dog and stuff like that over in the yard. We ended up running out of wires for the MIG welder because the little cross brace tubes, I was just MIG welding those in. They're thin tubing that run across there, and the stick rod's just too much for it. It don't need it. It's unnecessary. They're literally just there for side to side on the axles in there for going around corners to keep the leaf spring hangers from buckling under or anything like that. So we're going to get out there. We're going to finish welding those today, hopefully. I'm going to get the welding machine ready, get some new wire ran through it, and get out there and get after it. I'd like to take just a brief second here for the babies out there that are all fighting RSV. God was on our side over the Thanksgiving weekend. We have so much to be thankful for and so much we take for granted that we don't even realize until it's gone.
Little Vinny is only 5 months old, and he was already showing signs of being a fighter. He was on oxygen for 5 days. He made progress every single day. It was the scariest thing that has ever happened to us. Family is why we do this. I wouldn't work near as hard or as often if it wasn't for them. My hopes for raising my family in a racing environment is to keep us close, to help give them the mechanical mindset, to show them to persevere, never give up, and keep moving forward.
We're back the next day, Wednesday. Yesterday we were able to get all the stuff put back together, the axles back underneath it. Today we got to pull some wiring and finish doing our wires and lights that we were installing before we got into doing this axle drop stuff. So, but it turned out pretty good. It's not my best work, but it's not the worst work I've ever done either. There's them little gussets that we made that we put up on there. Put it on all of them. I painted everything to try to keep it from rust and make it last a little bit longer. But we got some of our new wires there, and them wires hanging are the old wires. We got to pull it through the frame. You can see some of them down there, and they're poking there. They poke out behind that one too. And we're going to get to doing that today. We'll give a small idea of what's going on here. We got our wire spools here, just kind of hold them up so they unroll nice and easy and don't make a big mess. The wires go up in the frame through some holes that they poked in there a long time ago. We're just following the holes. You can kind of see there. So we'll put some rubber hose or something over the wires there so it keeps them from chafing. We just kind of got it hanging out in various spots. We're working our way down to the back right now. This is a slow going process. It's just me out here, so I have to stuff some wire in the frame, go pull it, come back, stuff some more, go pull it some more. So we're leaving some hanging out here and there. I know it looks like a mess right there, but once it's all pulled up in there nice and tight and tucked up in there, it won't be that messy. We got our shop cat out here helping us, keeping us warm, trying to keep itself warm. It's only I don't know, it's probably in the mid 40s or something out here today. So just kind of showing you a progress report here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just finished, sorry I can't talk. We just finished up the electrical side of things. We got the truck hooked up to make sure the lights all work. I know the sun's bright and we're just using a phone here, but you see all them running lights are on. I haven't mounted the tail lights in permanently yet. I just got to stick some rivets in them. I got to re-drill some holes on that one. That one's at least, the hole was cut better on the frame for that one. But they are all in there and working. Let's see if we can get here. Oh, ooh, nope, not underneath there. We can't. Well, it's kind of hard to tell under here, but they're all on. They're all on and working. Now we're going to take our brake pedal here to hold it down, and we are going to see if the brake lights work like they're supposed to. And then we gotta check the drums. So we put our little bar in there on the brakes. We want to see if they work. Nope, that one's not working. That one's working. That one there, the brakes might just be bad on that one. The back axle, I put brand new brakes and bearings and stuff in it a couple years ago. You can see the backing plate's much newer on that one than it is that one. I can feel this one humming. That one's working. I can't feel nothing out of this one. That one's working. Okay, so we got 3 of them working. The one's not working, probably because the brake assembly itself is bad. But That's really good. I wonder if the brake lights had came on. Oh yeah, they got brighter. Yep, they got a lot brighter, so those are working. Let's see if the turn signals work. So we just went ahead and turned on the flashers, and they're working just like they're supposed to. That one's working. That one's working. Those aren't flashing, so we didn't cross any wires. It's good. Everything appears to be working just like it's supposed to. Now we'll put the tires back on it, set the trailer down on the ground, and we'll go park it back where it goes. Trailer repair modifications are done. The trailer is back in its resting place for the winter. We got the tires, axles mounted underneath it. We didn't take it for a test drive. We didn't pull it around the street. There's stuff in the trailer that I got to strap down. I wasn't going to get into that today. Mrs. wants to go to the grocery store, pick up a few things, so I got to go in and hang out with the kiddos for a little bit while she goes and does all that. Thank goodness she gave me enough time and allowed me to come out here and get this all wrapped up before the cold really starts blowing in. It's supposed to be starting to get cold here in Michigan. We're going to be getting some snow, some heavy winds, stuff like that. So thank God she gave me the allowable time to get this done, even though I'm a little under the weather, not feeling good. We still got it done, and she's ready to go for next year. You know, we put a we got a new pigtail we put on here, all new wiring. We pulled right from here, right from there, all the way back and all up through the top, everywhere. It's all brand new wiring, all brand new lights. And then the spacers underneath the axle, let's kind of take a look. I got the trailer jacked up. I got the trailer jacked way up in the air to allow water to run off. My aluminum pieces I put on there have done really good keeping the water out of there since it's been sitting flat while I've had it jacked up. No more leaking on the inside, which is great. It's been leaking on the inside for many years. Finally solved that. I'll see if I can clip in some other pictures on how far back that axle was, how far off of center that axle was. That axle was quite a bit off of center, just a little bit. We got her squared up. Looks like it's a lot better, a lot closer to being centered. We didn't want to go too far, but we wanted to go just enough. But we could see this tire here, this axle's got a lot of the weight on it right now because of the way I got it jacked in the air, and it looks like there's plenty of clearance up inside there. I'm gonna say 2 inches or better. Obviously that one's got a ton because we got it all jacked up, but we could stick our hand. We got all that room in there. I don't know how much that is, but we're gonna say 2 to 3 inches. So, but it turned out really good. The lights turned out real good. This one is, you know, I fastened those down. Then we're all fastened down, ready to go. They work great. I tested all the lights. The next thing to look at, which we'll worry about that when we go to put the car in the trailer, will be the angle of the door here. If you see how high that is off the ground right there. We used to get that thing down real close to the ground. Now it's up, you know, like it's sitting in divots over here. But on the other side, I parked the trailer so it's on an angle so the water runs back and then runs to the passenger side of the trailer. So I put it up on some shoring here, and that's to keep water off the trailer. Like I said, it leaked for years. So this is the shoring that I have on there to have the trailer on an angle. It sits down on the passenger side here. You know, if we we'll go walk around the front of it and see if you can kind of see the angle. Yeah, we can just look at the back of it. So yeah, you can kind of see the angle if you judge it by the ground right there. You can kind of see the angle, see it there a little bit. But she's all done. She's ready to go. We might we'll give you a little sneak peek of what's coming next. Over here at Patent Performance Garage, other than doing the alternator that, which I ordered my alternator. It'll be here in a couple days. But we'll get in here a little bit and we'll sneak back here. You can see my cylinder heads. And then I got that motor still all wrapped up. But that's a sneak peek for what's coming up here at Patent Performance. We got the engine stand right there. It's ready to go. We got the other part of the engine stand down there. Ready to go. She's ready. So that's what's coming next. That's a sneak peek. That's what's coming next. It'll be an engine build. We'll talk more about what motor it is, what it's got done to it, what's all inside of it when we get it out, get it on the stands, and take her from there. That'll be our next video. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. If you haven't done so yet, please like, please subscribe. Just ring that bell. It'll help you get notifications when videos are coming out. We got some stuff to come. The Chevelle will be out here inside the garage. I'm gonna completely rewire it. I'm gonna gut all the wiring out of that car. It's a bona fide mess, so it's all gonna come out of the car. I'm gonna build my own fuse relay board for it and stuff like that. There will be a little bit of how-to to it. What's upcoming this winter: engine build, rewiring the Chevelle, and possibly my first time ever building a Turbo 400. We'll see. Thanks again. Catch you next time.